Hi everybody, this is Rose of Sharon, and I'm back again with another movie review. I just recently watched Heavy Traffic, which is a biopic by Ralph Bakshi. I've watched adult animation before. It's nothing new to me. My favorite of all time is heavy metal because that is just always has stood out to me. Wizards is good too, but still my ultimate favorite of any adult animated film would definitely be heavy metal, just because heavy metal has got one of the best soundtracks in the world, just straight up. Heavy Traffic has a good soundtrack too, and it's more of the should I really be laughing at this sort of thing, because you feel really really bad for Michael, and I have a feeling that Michael is actually Ralph, but he was an underground cartoonist as far as I know. I know a little bit about Mr. Bakshi, and Fritz the Cat was his big debut. And Fritz the Cat is actually most well known, and yeah, it's raunchy, and it's got sex and violence, and this does too, although the act of sex itself, it's more alluded to. Of course, he does draw intercourse itself, and you get to see people getting it on, but Fritz, yeah, Fritz is hardcore stuff. It's not like straight up porno, but it's pretty hardcore. I've just seen bits and clips of Fritz, and I do like Fritz, but the animation style, I like the animation style. I thought it was a very interesting film, and I was surprised that it had kind of a happy ending in a way. I'm not gonna go into it, but this is a very edgy avant-garde film, and it's more like being on an acid trip. I've never taken acid, but if you were to take acid, this would probably be what you would see or have the experience of. It's not a movie I would watch again, just because it was all right. I thought it was really good, honestly. I liked it, but it's not something I would watch again, just because it's it jumps around a lot, which normally I don't mind, because there's another show I like, Game of Thrones, does that all the time, and I can keep up with it, but it has a consistent plot. And you know where it's going, you have an idea, you can follow it, and I could figure it out. Heavy Traffic was more train of thought kind of movie, and yeah, I do appreciate it for what it is, and it's live action and animation, but it's not like Who Framed Roger Rabbit, which I love that movie. Cool World didn't do it right. Space Jam, I know some people love it, some people hate it. I was in the middle about it, because I love basketball, but just it really wasn't my thing. Who Framed Roger Rabbit is my ultimate favorite live action cartoon. This attempts that, but it's more surreal. I do like the surrealism of it. I really enjoy that. I like the characters. You can see there's a lot of stereotypes. There's a lot of prejudice. It's actually kind of funny. I mean, I found myself laughing when I shouldn't be. I thought, should I be laughing? Don't know if I should. I feel kind of bad laughing. But I think my favorite character was Carol, just because she's a strong, independent black woman. And I think for the time, you really didn't see that an awful lot. And it's a movie that takes place in the 1970s. And it just shows that dynamic. And it's intriguing as far as psychologically depicting just people at their worst. And just the everyday, the workaday world or lack of workaday world for Michael, because he's a freelance underground adult artist trying just to make a living. And I mean, I respect that because I draw as well. I don't make money off of it yet, but it's a hobby. He was making or trying to make a living off of it, and it's interesting how his fantasy becomes reality at the end, but or leads you to believe that it does. But as far as the movie's concerned, I give it 3 because it's nice to look at. It's intriguing. It's got a really good soundtrack. There are some parts of it that are rather amusing. You get to see a lot of the divide between race, which is really intriguing, I think. But I give it 1 thumb because I really enjoyed it, and I just thought it was a really in-depth, nitty-gritty look at New York and a snapshot of New York in the 70s. I don't really have that much else to say about Heavy Traffic, although there were some moments that were laugh out loud funny, I thought. But I can't really say that much else about it, other than it's probably a movie that probably never going to watch again, just because, I did it out of sheer curiosity, but, I didn't care for all the prejudicial stuff. I'm like, seriously? Yeah. Last film that I saw that was like that was Kalas, and that was a movie coming from India, so yeah, that tells you something. I'm not really a fan of all that, and just I know it is what it is. It was what it was, and it was just showing a snapshot of how just the cruelty, how cruel people can be, how tricky they are, how untrustworthy, how just and some virtues. I guess there were some virtues to be taken away from it, but these characters don't really have a lot of redeeming qualities. Needless to say, I think that as far as any other character shining through, it would probably be Carol, just because I think she's the first real strong, independent black woman. But that's all I can say about Heavy Traffic. So until next time, live long and prosper. Ciao, Titi.